I wanted to be at Texas State. I chose to be at Texas State. I'm from Texas. That was important to me. I always knew if the right guy got this job, you better watch out.
You better watch out. This is Win Now or Get Bent. Episode 137. Finally. If you don't already know, I'm Kev Chardello. Coming to you on Friday, October 20th. And we're on a bye week. Man, feels good to be back though. It's been a little too long since I've done a pod, at least a video pod. Some of you saw the presser pods and the audio only pod. Sorry for the technical difficulties. As you can see, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, we are back. We're cooking. We're ready to go. Ready for the rest of the season. Ready to watch these Bobcats at 5-2. Gosh, what a great record. All week I've been looking at that 5-2 record, and it's just looks so nice, doesn't it? It's great. We're going to talk all about that, but before we get there, this episode is sponsored by TGC, the Galindo Collective, TGC LLC at thegalindocollective.com, Galindo, galindocollective.com, a team of professional consultants dedicated to helping others realize their business potential through people, planning, and practice. Their services cover a wide range of areas such as business strategy, marketing, human resources, and financial planning. If you own property or a business and want to maximize its profitability, contact TGC at thegalindocollective.com and follow their social media platforms on Twitter at TGC LLC, TGC _LLC on Twitter, and on Instagram and Facebook at the Galindo Collective. Shout out to my guy, Rick Galindo, a true Tech State sicko, a Tech State grad himself, been with us from before the season all the way through it. Pretty sure we're going to see him a lot next year. So shout out to my guy, Rick. Go check them out if any of your needs, thegalindocollective.com. We're also sponsored by Balcones Roofing and Remodeling, the most experienced F-Wave roofing contractor in Central Texas. F-Wave is a highly impact-resistant lifetime shingle with stunning designer curb appeal. It is the only roofing product on the market with an exclusive hail warranty. Gotta have that hail warranty, especially here in Central Texas. We know that hail comes early and often, and it will be here coming up for this winter weather. Won't have to deal with insurance or any of that. You already have that warranty on there. You'll have that nice F-Wave that'll protect you from the hail. So hit up my guy, Carl Larson, over there at Balcones Roofing and Remodeling. He's a new sicko, converted Gamecock. Now he's with the Maroon and Gold. Shout out to Carl. Hit them up at balconesroofsaustin.com. That's BALCONES. Balconesroofsaustin.com. 512-937-8805. It's 512-937-8805. And follow them on Twitter at Balcones Roofing. Our next sponsor is Thaddeus Watkins. You all know him. San Marcos Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized to you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? When you work with Thaddeus Watkins, your San Marcos Edward Jones Financial Advisor, he focuses on what's important to you. You'll work together and use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. Contact my guy, Thaddeus Watkins, at 737-373-8200 and at edwardjones.com/Thaddeus-Watkins. Shout out to Big Thad. Follow him on Twitter too, at Big Thad, BIGGTHADD _ at the end of that. My guy went viral for his video of the light show at Bobcat Stadium last Saturday. It was great. I'm glad he took that, show the world what it looks like. A lot of other people took great videos as well. And it was great. It was great to see that go viral and have everyone talking about it. So shout out to Thad. Who better to protect your finances than a former Texas State offensive lineman like my guy Thad? Now he's a sicko like all of us. So hit him up for all your needs. We are also sponsored by Austin Patchmaster, austin.patchmaster.com. Our guys over there, one of our first earliest sponsors back in the spring. We got them back in the mix. Is your ceiling or wall cracked? Need that popcorn ceiling removed? Did you punch a hole in your wall when the Bobcats weren't looking so great against ULM last week, but eventually pulled it out? That's okay. My guy Michael Clements will come. He'll help you out. He'll come fix some of those holes. He's a true Tech State sicko, a Tech State grad. They are servicing the greater Austin area, including San Marcos. But if you're in Dallas or you're in Houston, they're a franchise, so he can give you some referrals out there. So still hit up my guy Michael at Austin Patchmaster, but especially do it if you're living in this area. Again, that's austin.patchmaster.com. You can call him at 512-200-3888. It's 512-200-3888. All right, and one more special sponsorship. It's more. We're working together. There's a Bobcat out there, a true sicko out there. His name is Dennis Redding. Back in February, he reached out and said, "Hey, can I send you some Win Now or Get Bent koozies? I'm just a fan of the pod and love what you do for the university." I was very touched. He sent me some koozies. This was a long time ago too. And I can even remember when I met with Zach Webb, the great producer, the Wizard here, when we talked about bringing him on board, one of the symbols of you're on the team is I handed him one of those koozies. So this is kind of a full circle moment because now we are teaming up with Dennis and his company, Chilzey, Chilzey.com. That's CHILLZEY.com. They make custom koozies and tumblers. Lots of great stuff. He sent me some stuff. Check this bad boy out right here. Pulling up, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see the Win Now or Get Bent tumbler. Really nice tumbler there. You can get a custom tumbler. Now, they have these logos on their website, but you can get anything for your company, whatever you need. Here's a bunch of these koozies. I'm going to be handing these out at homecoming. Make sure you come look for me. Very excited to hand out some Win Now or Get Bent koozies. He gave me a big old box of them to hand out. But you can get custom tumblers. You can get custom koozies. They have slim cans as well. If you use code Bobcats on a purchase of 6 or more tumblers, those tumblers get knocked down to $15 a piece. Like if you have something you want to promote for your company, you have some sort of event you want to do, you just want to have some fun and make some crazy logos, hit up Chilzey. You can get a lot of cool stuff. Again, I'll show you this awesome tumbler here that he sent me. Very cool. Thank you, Dennis, for that. We got these koozies here. Check it out. Chilzey.com. CHILLZEY.com. My guy Dennis, man. Proud Bobcat. I'm excited to be teaming up with him. I'm excited to hand out these koozies. You'll be hearing me pushing Chilzey a lot. And you know what? I got to be honest with y'all. This is there's a lot of ad reads in this, and we have one more, but it's for us. It's for winnoworgetbent.com. We have to do it. The Wizard and I have been working on some stuff in the background. If the camera had worked earlier in the week, we would have promoted this sooner, but here we are. We're doing it now. We've got a bunch of new looks on WNOGB.com. Want you to go check those out.
Are you a sicko? What is this? What is this? Are you a sicko?
Chupala chup me that. Chupala chup me that. Look. Chupala chup me that.
I'm wearing one of the shirts right now. It's probably my favorite thing we've done so far. I'm going to back it up a little bit. Again, watch on the YouTube channel. Win Now or Get Bent on YouTube. You can see this awesome State of Texas Sicko shirt. I love this thing. We got lots of different colors in them. I'm a little jealous because the Wizard ordered a tan one. I'm about to show you again on the YouTube channel. He ordered a tan one. And man, doesn't that look good? I still got to bring that to him. I might keep it for myself. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get in a little closer here. You can see Win Now or Get Bent in the tag right there. These are a little more customizable. These are great quality shirts. You know, the first round of shirts, those were really good quality as well, but we studied it. We decided to maximize the quality, find the best vendors, find the best everything, and we did. We've been working on that quietly in the background, and now we've got a lot of stuff, but it's not just those Sicko shirts. We've got other Sicko stuff as well. Check out this sweater. I thought about wearing this sweater. I've been wearing it all week because it's getting nice and chilly. Hold on. Here's the reveal. Bang. Right there. Look on the YouTube channel if you can't see it. It says Sicko, Win Now or Get Bent right underneath it. Lots of different colors in these sweaters as well. Nice price on them as well. Try to make everything good and cheap, so that you can still order it and have it ready. Another new thing we've got new mugs. A lot of you have ordered the old mugs, and those old mugs are pretty great, but you got to check this one out too. We've got our alt logo on this guy, Win Now or Get Bent on that side, and then the Sicko logo on the other side. It's got the black handle, black on the inside, nice quality mug. Two different mugs. You know, the Win Now or Get Bent one is a little bit bigger, but this one is pretty cool. Pretty proud of that one. Of course, we still have all our old stuff, the hats and everything. I know I have a hat around here somewhere. There we go. Of course, the hat, the classic hat. I've worn this bad boy. We've got other Sicko hats as well. I should have grabbed one of those. That's another thing I'm jealous of Zach, because we were ordering stuff for ourselves. Like, okay, let's get some merch. Let's test out this quality, and let's have some stuff to show off. And man, you know, my guy's got some style. But you're not used to that from a producer. My guy Zach Webb, he's got some real style. He ordered some good stuff. But WNOGB.com, check us out. It's a new merch push. I know this is kind of an extended ad read. I won't hit you with this every episode, but I want you to go check out all that new cool stuff that we have. I appreciate everyone buying stuff in the first merch push. That really helped us. This will help us even further, help us grow, all that good stuff. All right, that's enough. That's 11 minutes of ad reads. That is way too much, everybody. Let's get to these Bobcats, huh? You've been waiting all week for a true episode. Thanks if you listened to the special 5th win edition and then the presser pod from this week. Those are audio only. Check them out on Apple and Spotify. But now we got a real episode. Now, if you listen to the fifth win edition one, I put in about 15 minutes of a segment that I recorded on Sunday before we couldn't get access to that video and everything. And the camera gave out on me right when I was about to actually start talking about the game. I did it a little bit in that 5th edition audio only one, but I'm going to jump back in just to that ULM game just for a little bit, and then we'll kind of get to more present day stuff, some mid-season awards that are going around for Bobcats, recruiting update. I want to talk about naming this offense. Y'all had some fun with that on Twitter. We're gonna run through some of your submissions. I mentioned the Galindo Collective. My guy Rick Galindo, man, he took that assignment to heart, and he actually has about 5 great names that I'm gonna read. But before that, let's talk about this ULM game. 21-20 win for the Bobcats. It wasn't pretty. They took a 3-0 lead at the beginning, and then ULM scored a touchdown, and the Bobcats trailed up until just about the very end. Back-to-back touchdowns to Joey Hobart gave them the lead after being down 20-9. It's a nice comeback effort after kind of a subpar offensive day, if you will, for the Bobcats. But you know, real quick, things I liked, things I didn't like. That's how we'll go through this game real quick. We'll start positive. Things I like, the crowd. That's number one. Has to be number one. That crowd was amazing. Talked about it in the ad read for Thaddeus Watkins, San Marcos Edward Jones financial advisor. He had a great video showing the crowd during the light show. Just a terrific scene. The atmosphere was amazing. This was October 14th against ULM. You know, it was family weekend. I will say that there was that specific event for the game. But that was it shouldn't have been a crowd like that. I've never seen a crowd like that at this time of the season, and made my Bobcat heart real proud to see that. Hope it continues. Show back up for homecoming, everybody. I know they will. I know those student section will, man. They're taking it to another level. They're putting all past student generations to shame for what they're doing in the student section. Shout out to them. What else did I like? They finished strong. I do like that. I didn't like the offensive output for most of the game until they realized they are better than this team. Shouldn't be down by 11 points. They're down 20-9 before 2 touchdowns to Hobart. They turned it on. And that's nice. It's nice that they have the talent to do this, but they played down to their opponent. It shouldn't have even been that way. Because, I mean, as soon as they turned on the Jets, boom, 2 touchdowns. And the Warhawks are in the rearview mirror. Why didn't they do that for the rest of the game? Got to stop playing down to the opponent. We've seen them play up to opponents as well. Baylor, I mean, we've seen them compete. Louisiana, they competed more than a lot of people thought they would in that game. They let it go at the end, but they were in it a lot. They surprised a lot of people with that performance. But then even like the playing down thing, look at Southern Miss, 26 unanswered points in the second half. They keep playing down to these opponents that they should be stomping on. But that being said, 5-2, indicative of a good team to flip that switch when you need it and finish the game. And they finished the game, so that has to be commended. Strong defensive effort after, maybe I was kind of harsh on the defense. The offense was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. The defense did that on Saturday for the Bobcats. The two times the offense has had a bad game for the Bobcats, the defense has stood up. UTSA and then ULM. And the defense stood up in both of those games. 9 tackles for a loss, held the Warhawks to 3 for 14 on third down, which was huge. Had that 4th and goal stop. That should have been a touchdown for them, and it ended up nothing, 0 points. There was that one tackle. I hope I mentioned this on the 5th edition when I meant to, that Brant Freeman tweeted it out, or the video of Caleb Ford Dement stopping what would have been an easy touchdown right before that 4th and goal stop. So huge effort by Caleb Ford Dement to keep them out of the end zone. Things I like, Joey Hobart is just balling 3 straight games, 100 yards receiving. That guy is terrific. It's funny, a lot of P5 players came in, some of them at receiver. Hobart coming in from Utah Tech, although he originally was at Washington State before Utah Tech. May not have been expected to do what he's done. I remember I talked about it. If you listen to the pod in the summer, I was watching all his film and those routes that he was running at Utah Tech and the connection to Stutzman here. It makes sense to me. I didn't expect it to be this great for him, but he's doing terrific. TJ Finley bouncing back again after a pick 6. He's 3rd interception on the season to 14 touchdowns, but 2 of those 3 interceptions are pick 6s. This one he bounced back, led him on 2 touchdown drives after that bad throw. That interception that's one of the rare times I've seen Finley just deliver it to the defense with his eyes. Like if you watch that play, Malik Hornsby's in there and they kind of do like a wheel route where they might throw it to Hornsby, and you see Finley, man. Finley wanted to throw it to Hornsby so bad. He had his eyes on him. He does a little roll out to the left. Finley does. He rolls out to the left, so he's kind of moving, throwing on the run or trying to, just staring down Hornsby, and it wasn't there. So then he goes, all right, I'm gonna go short, like last minute. It actually seemed like he didn't have Hornsby, and then for a second he thought about running it. That wasn't there either. So then he goes to throw it short. Interception, pick 6. But that was a rare miscalculation by him. He's probably excited with the gadget play. That might be the problem with some of these gadget plays, is they're not run all the time or practice all the time. So there might be some sloppiness issues like that. But I really liked how he bounced back again. That just shows some mental fortitude to put that in the rearview mirror and move on. Mason Shipley, 8 for 8 on field goals. Killing it. Not bad. Way more field goals than GJ Kinney would like. More red zone talk this week. Go listen to the presser pod if you want to hear the audio from this week. Decent running back play despite injuries. Denario Davenport did really well. Those injuries, Calvin Hill came out. Started 5 carries, 27 yards. Hurt himself. Out for the rest of the game. Mahdi was also banged up. We all know about the wrist. He had that big club cast on. He did some things, did some damage as well, but Davenport came in with 94 yards off the bench. Not bad running. Time of possession, they had it 37 minutes to 22 minutes. That was interesting. The offense seemed a little bit off with like usually those drives are much quicker. They had long drive, 13 play drives. They weren't as spaced out as they usually were. I think they were more injured than they were letting on, especially when the game started and there's no Josh Eaton. There's no Dan Foster. There were just other guys that we didn't see. So great time for a bye week. And no fumbles. No fumbles on offense. They fumbled pretty often, and that was nice to keep the ball in their hands in this one. All right, what I didn't like, and we'll do this quick. Offense, didn't like that. Didn't like how it looked. Looked off, as I was saying. After it looked so strong for most of the season, that was a step back for them. They got the win. They got enough points to get that W. But I give a lot of credit to the defense there, because even essentially the defense gave up 13 points because of the pick six. So it was a really, really strong defensive effort. Yeah, but specifically in the passing game, seemed off. I don't know what was up with that. I don't know if maybe Finley was a little banged up, or it's pure speculation. I've asked Kenny about, is Finley banged up? And he said, no, it's not anything like that, but he just looked he's moving slower. Just might be a little banged up, because even the average pass attempt was 4.8 yards a pass. That's not what they do. And I mentioned it earlier, they played down to their opponent. That wasn't great. It tends to be a problem with this team. I think everybody, they need to go into every game thinking it's Alabama. You know, it's just what you have to do. Can't be like, it's ULM. Can't wait for the bye week, extra couple days off. Every game is Alabama. And the drops by Hawkins, that was uncharacteristic. 3 of them. Just a bad day, I think. I know I tweeted something about the gloves. He was wearing pink gloves to start on the first drop. Switched to black gloves, no drops. Switched back to pink gloves, couple more drops. So maybe those were just newer gloves, not as tacky. But yeah, that's what I didn't like there. Let's look at the standings real quick, real fast. We're not going to do a full rundown. I just want to look at it, because the Bobcats are tied for the top of the West again. Bit of a spoiler alert, but let's go through the East. James Madison, 7-0. 7-0. Give him a bowl game, you know? And I hear some people's opinions on that, about everybody had to do the 2-year transition deal where you can't play in a bowl game, you can't win your conference, you can't be ranked. Everybody had to do it. Texas State had to do it. Everybody, App State, everybody, when they move, this is it's known. Everybody has to do it, and that's true. It is true. Everybody else did have to do it, but just because everybody else had to do it doesn't make it right now. You know, just because others suffered in the past doesn't mean others need to suffer now. So just let them play a bowl. Let them get in there. Let them play for the Sun Belt even. I mean, they're proving it. They're proving that they're dominant. Of course I want Texas State to take that Sun Belt championship. It's my beat. It's my alma mater. I want that. But that being said, James Madison, they're killing it, and they deserve a better opportunity. But they're 7-0, 4-0 in conference. Just beat Marshall. You saw that game last night. Georgia State just below them at 5-1, 2-1 in conference. Old Dominion at third, 3-3, 2-1. Georgia Southern is 4-2, 1-1. App State 3-3, 1-1. Marshall all the way down to 6th now in conference. 3 straight losses for Marshall. They are now 4-3 and 1-2. It flips like that. They were 4-0, and lots of people, including myself, were singing their praises. Then Coastal Carolina at the bottom of the East, 3-3, 1-2. Jamie Chadwell, man, he's got Liberty looking right, and Coastal looks like a shell of itself when he leaves. So if coaching matters in college football, folks, coaching matters. All right, let's go to the West Division. It's more fun. Texas State at the tippy top. We might be looking at an alphabetical thing because they're tied with Troy, their next opponent. Both teams are 5-2, 2-1, sitting at the top of the West Division. Third, South Alabama, 4-3, 2-1. Now, they're 2-1 in conference, but those last 2 wins have been some barn burners. I think it was 110-10 combined scores in their last 2 wins over ULM and Southern Miss. So South Alabama figured it out. I was making fun of Major Applewhite, but he's back. He finds a way, doesn't he? Louisiana, they're at 4th in the West, 4-2, 1-1. Arkansas State 3-3, 1-1 at 5th in the West. ULM is 6th at 2-4, 0-3. Southern Miss 1-6, 0-4. They've lost 6 in a row. Tough deal. I just saw Will Hawkins giving up play calling as well. Tough times for Southern Miss. I expected better. I thought Southern Miss would be better this season. That's one team that shocked me how poor they've played. Some awards this week, or at least some watch list awards. Bear Bryant watch list for G.J. Kinney, which goes to some of the best coaches out there. I know I meant to save this list of coaches. Yeah, there it is. Okay, great. Yeah, the list he's on on the Bear Bryant watch list is pretty great. I have it saved right here. We'll get back to that. But a Manning Award watch list for T.J. Finley as well, and midseason All-American by The Athletic for Mahdi. Finley is 1,941 yards, 59 yards away from 2,000 already. 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 69% completion. Terrific. He's got a great efficiency rating as well. I didn't type it right here. I think he's like 160 right now, something like that. Near the top. I think McLeod's doing it at JMU. Jordan McLeod, their quarterback. I think he's doing a little bit better in the efficiency rating. A little bit of a comeback to reality moment for him though last week, and it wasn't the best game. Even after last week, I was touting him. Oh, this guy's going to the NFL. He could be drafted. All this stuff. Still some stuff to clean up for sure for Finley. Still overthrowing some guys. A little bit of touch on there. I still like everything he brings to the table though. His decision making, his arm strength, the whole deal. But he still has some growing to do. And we saw that last week. Doesn't have growing to do in the mental department, though. Pick 6, come back out, 2 touchdown drives, win the game. That's a mentally strong quarterback. Mahdi, too. 726 rush yards, despite playing last week one-handed. On 98 carries, 7.4 yards a carry, 8 touchdowns. I wrote down the 98 carries because that's important. He's the only he's number 5 in the Sun Belt in rushing yards. And he's the only one that is under 124 carries in the top 5. Everyone else has at least 124 and more. He has 98, and he's in the top 5. Just a fun season for Mahdi. Man, I hope the 2 weeks is really good on his wrist. Let's talk some recruiting. Cats recruiting, because that was, again, if you didn't listen to the presser pod, go back and listen to it. It's audio only. Put it out yesterday on Thursday. Because the press conference, it was on Tuesday, moved it to Wednesday this week. On my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday to Jade Marie. 1 year old. Can you believe it? But so we got to talk to G.J. Kinney, and it was like, hey, bye week, what's the focus? What are y'all focusing on? Getting healthy, putting in more plays? No, it was recruiting. And man, I appreciated that answer. It was recruiting because, during the season, you can't really leave the state and go check out some of these JUCOs in Kansas and Iowa and Mississippi and California. You can't really do that during the season, so they're going to take advantage of that now. For the 2024 class, they have 16 commits. All of them are high school prospects. 15 of the 16 are Texas high school prospects. So now he says the focus is shifting to junior college for right now until the transfer portal window opens December 4th through January 2nd is the first time the portal opens. That's when you start to see some of these 4-year transfers, these FBS, FCS transfers. If you remember from the last class, 2023, 53 players in that class, 39 of them were FCS or FBS transfers. It will not be the same situation according to Kinney. He is going, obviously they have 16 high school commits. That last class, the 53-man class, had 7 high school signees. So they already have more than that. They're planning on adding a few more, but now they're going to sprinkle in some JUCO players and then some transfer players, specifically on defense. He said he's bringing a ton of offensive players back next year, which is great. We see how well the offense is doing. Get a lot of those guys back next year, but he's focusing on the defensive line specifically in the JUCO ranks. That's what he was saying on the press conference on Wednesday. And they're gonna go bring in some other guys. We've seen them get some really good JUCOs on the D line. Terry Webb comes to mind right off the bat. So it's probably a good part of the field to look at. Get those big bodies, some guys with experience you could just plug and play. Usually, if you get a high school lineman, it takes a year or two to develop them. You got to put size on them. You got a lot of technique you got to work with. You have to unlearn bad habits for linemen. I feel like that's more so than any other position. And maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but this is just what it seems like for me, is that linemen, there's so much technique. There's technique in every position, but there's a lot of specific, like where exactly how you do everything, that you pick up bad habits from coaches that just don't know any better at the high school ranks, and they have to almost reteach it at the next level. So I understand going the JUCO route for that. We're not going to see 39 FBS and FCS transfers. Could see around the same number of JUCO, because it was 7 high school, 7 JUCO for that 53-man class. Could be around the same there. I would imagine it'd be around 15 transfers, JUCO and 4-year. Looking at like 35, 40-man class. There's no more limit, no more 25-player limit per annual limit, I should say. You still have that 85 total that you can fill, but you can, every year, you could have a brand new 85 if you want. I mean, look at Colorado did. They did that with the 71 players. So it's an interesting deal. So it's going to be another big class, and we've talked about that before, that this will be another big, 2024 will be a big recruiting class for them. The commit this week, Frederick Doty, really like him. I spoke about him on some of the audio-only pods already that I've done this week, but he's a safety out of Kennedale. It's the 5th DB that they have committed. Obviously, that's a position of need. We've seen some strong play from starters for the Bobcats, but depth needs some shoring up, and they're trying to do that in recruiting. But Frederick Doty, he was committed to UNT, decommitted on Sunday, committed to the Bobcats same day. And let's go look at some of his offers. North Texas, as I mentioned, Arkansas State, Colorado State, Louisiana, Memphis, Missouri, TCU, Texas Tech, Tulane, Utah State, UTSA. Good to get one away from UTSA. This class, though, defensive heavy, 9 players on the defensive side of the ball. And Kenny's saying they're still looking at defensive guys. Just saw a Bowie defensive lineman, Tristan Thompson, believe that was his name. Tristan Johnson, actually, my bad. Tristan Thompson, I think, is an NBA player. That he just decommitted from UTSA. And so, I'm sorry, he's from Bell, LD Bell. I knew it had a B in it, but yeah, he just decommitted from UTSA. He has Texas State offers. I know it's someone that they're targeting, 6'2", 260 pounds. UTSA, Arizona State, Buffalo, Colgate, Harvard. Oh, look at that. Kent State, Lamar, Louisiana Tech, Nebraska, New Mexico State, North Texas, Sam Houston State, SFA, TCU, and UNLV for Tristan Johnson. So yeah, they've got other high school guys they're looking at still. I imagine they'll probably get around. They're at 16 now, maybe like they're around 20 for the high school prospects. And then about 15 to 20 other JUCO transfer guys coming in for this class. Really like this class, though, for the Bobcats. The commits that they have so far, looking at it right now, 77 in the nation on 247 Sports. Most of them are 3 stars. The guys that don't have 3 stars are Brock Riker and Lakel McCowan. Brock Riker is an offensive lineman at Brock High School. Lakel McCowan is from Clear Falls. He's a linebacker. Both of them don't have rankings just because they haven't gotten to them yet. Big national database. But when you look at their offers, they're guys that should have rankings as well. But I love that the focus is recruiting on a bye week. Even though you got 5-2, it's looking great. They still are looking towards next year, which is really good for people who think, man, GJ Kinney, he's one and done at every other place. It's probably going to be one and done here as well. The fact that he's so focused on next season, that he talks about having a ton of offensive players back next year, that gives me confidence that he's still going to stick around. It gives me confidence that the administration here at Texas State is talking to at least his agent in the background about a pay raise, because he's going to need it. He's going to need it. What was it? We talked about it not too long ago. It was 8th, 9th in the Sun Belt in pay scale. Needs to be higher. Or salary, I should say, not pay scale. But speaking of GJ, I passed over something I wanted to talk about. With him being on the Bear Bryant Award watch list, I started talking about Finley and Motti. I meant to circle back and talk about this because of the list of the watch list of players he's on this with. I mean, you got Jeff Brom, Mac Brown, Jamie Chadwell. We mentioned Kurt Signetti. Jim, you have them looking right. Ryan Day at Ohio State. Elijah Drinkwitz at Missouri, James Franklin at Penn State, Willie Fritz at Tulane, Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Okay, so here you go. It's on this graphic I'm looking at. It's Jim Harbaugh. It's 5 coaches per list, and this is the third, or per row, and this is the third row. The row starts Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, Texas State, G.J. Kinney, Oregon, Dan Lanning, and Kansas, Lance Leopold. See, that's what I mean. Just like he's on a list of some really terrific coaches. I'll finish the list just because it's not that much longer. Mike Locksley at Maryland, Mike Norvell at Florida State, Lincoln Riley at USC, Nick Saban at Alabama. You know who that is. Deion Sanders at Colorado. You definitely know who that is. Steve Sarkisian at Texas, Kirby Smart at Georgia, Jonathan Smith at Oregon State, Mark Stoops at Kentucky, and Brent Venables at Oklahoma. And G.J. Kinney is right in the middle. Literally could not be any more in the middle of this graphic. And that's terrific. It's but I'll guarantee you this, bet he's the lowest paid coach on that list. And that's what I mean. And I don't mean to harp on it too much about they got to pay this guy, but they got to pay this guy. Because that's a pretty cool list for him to be on. And he talked about it at the press conference again, presser audio, go check it out. How much that meant to him to look at that list. And, you know, usually he says you see these lists, these watch lists you get on, you kind of brush it off, but that one was really special to him. But that's a cool list for him to be on. We'll end it with this, the offense, the name of this offense. So this offense, we'll exclude last game. But this offense, for the most part, has been fantastic. 77 points against Jackson State. It's done number one in the Sun Belt still, even after 21 points last week. But people don't know what to call it. The broadcasters for the game last week didn't know what to call it, or 2 weeks ago didn't know what to call it. There's not really a name for it. We've asked Mac Leftwich, what does he call it? He doesn't have a name for it. I've heard veer and shoot, and that's what I initially tweeted, and that's kind of what sparked this after the ESPN broadcast talked about it. I've heard the veer and shoot. Shout out to my guy Cam telling me we were talking all about the Art Briles and how it was kind of his style, and how this is an offense they run a lot in high school. And so I put that out there, and there was a ton of response for name submissions, and honestly, they're all really good. I meant to do this earlier before this one. Bye week seems like a good time. It's good bye week content, you know. So let's go through some of your submissions on Twitter for the offensive names, what to call it. I appreciated that there wasn't much repetition. Like you all kind of thought of your own original ideas. That's why I wanted to make a note of this list. Number one, we got Rep the State of Texas, my guy. What's up? How you doing? Gash and Dash. There you go. Big Thad. We know Thad sponsoring the pod. Big Mac with extra cheese. That's a fun one. Right? And then he also has the Bobcat Express. My guy Rick Galindo. I'm going to have fun with this was his response. I took note of his response as well, of his list. I'll come back. I'll circle back to that. My guy, Miguel Luna. What's up, man? Aaron Pound. Oh, I like that. ETX Bobcat at ETX Bobcat 16. He says, I want to make it more Texan. Spur and shoot. Could go for that one. Lance Nagel. What's up, Lance? Party in the end zone. Parentheses for real this time. That's a good one. Withers era, if anybody remembers the party in the end zone hashtag that never came to fruition, or if it did, it was for the other team. Another one from Lance, the Trident. Excellent stuff. I like that. Yeah, that's another thing. Merch site. Look, we had some Trident gear coming too. Look out for that. WNRGB.com. Thanks for that segue, Lance. My guy, Ulysses Gonzalez. What's up, Yuli? Hope you're well. The Bait and Switch Blitzkrieg. Man, I like it. I like the thought. Kevin Muth, my guy Kevin. What's up, Kevin? Wheel and Deal. Like that one a lot. Bobcat Fanatic at Bobcat Supporter on Twitter. The Hobart Special in honor of Herbert's. See, Hobart's got to stay the whole time though. That's the only thing is if there's no Hobart, then you know. Leo, my guy Leo B for real on Twitter. I've received confirmation from GJ himself. It's called the Oop De Oop. The Oop De Oop. I like it. Got my guy Lance Lindman. What's up, Lance? Another Lance. How you doing, Lance? The Juggercat offense. Ooh, the Juggercat. Let's see. Dash and Fly. That's from Traveler Surly. The Kinney Effect offense from Tech X Mex. What's up, my guy? I've seen you submit some questions before. Kate Boyd at Fleur 2008 on Twitter. Pac-Man offense. Yeah, because the broadcaster said, this offense, it just eats up yards like Pac-Man. Nom, nom, nom. that was a funny moment. He even did the nom, nom, nom. It was funny. Pac-Man offense. I like it. I like it, Kate. Shout out to Kate. Kyle Davila at Kyle_Davila. Marvelous Shoot, like Sand Marvelous. You got Gator at Gall Music on Twitter. His name is Gator, though, on it. He's got the Ocarina Sprint. Ooh. Might be my favorite one, Gator. I like it. I like it. I don't know if as many people will get it. And I know people aren't from San Marcos. They look at that word Ocarina and it makes their eyes cross. They're like, huh? What is Aqua? What? But I like it. I like that one, Gator. The Bobcat Shuffle. This is from Art of the Dad Bod. Love that. Me too. I'm all about that dad bod on this end. Bobcat Shuffle from Art of the Dad Bod. And then my guy Rick Galindo, man, he took this assignment to heart. Quote tweeted it with five submissions. He's got the Zone Thunder, the Rush Lightning, the Swift Power, the Velo Spread, and Velo Power. So okay, so he actually has there's specifications for each name. So space plus power is Zone Thunder. Speed plus power run plus shoot is Rush Lightning. Speed plus shoot is Swift Power. Speed plus power is Velo Spread. And speed plus power is Velo Power. 4 and 5 repeat themselves with the speed and power. But I like all the names. Zone Thunder. Rush Lightning. See, that's specific for the exact package that you put out there. But I like that. I like that, everybody. You know, I'm sure there were people who quote tweeted. I didn't get all the quote tweets, but those are just the comments to it. Some good submissions. Nobody repeated anybody else's. I thought that was fun. I wonder what they really call it. I wonder if our guy Leal is right. What did he say? He said received confirmation from GJ himself. The Oop De Oop offense. All right. But that'll do it. That's it for the bye week episode. More football next week. Back to our regular scheduled programming next week. We're all good. We're all good now. At least got a Band-Aid that'll get us through the season before we pivot to something else with the camera. But I'm glad it's still there. Glad to get this episode going. Check out our Patreon site, patreon.com/winnoworgetbent. Lots of good content up there. $5 a month. Helps us grow. So does WNOGB.com. Lots of merch. You heard me push it earlier. I'm showing off the Sicko shirt again on the YouTube channel. I love it. I love this logo so much. Go check it out. Go get it. We have that same logo on the new mug right there with the Alt Win Now or Get Bent logo. Love this mug. We're stepping the game up there. We're going to add more stuff, of course. We're going to keep peppering in stuff, but we got to make sure that the content we're selling is quality. Don't forget, again, Chilsey.com. Bang, get you a custom tumbler. Make you a tumbler. You can get a Win Now or Get Bent tumbler, or you can get whatever tumbler you want. He'll put anything on there. You'd have to ask him about this one, but maybe GJ in the tube throwing up the, oops, is that the wrong hand? Wow, that was a big faux pas. It's because the mic's in my way if you're watching on the YouTube channel. But yeah, you can get GJ Kinney in a tube. You can do lots of fun stuff with the tumblers. And again, 6 or more, you can get them for $15 a pop. So if you're trying to get some for a friend group, a bachelor party, a some around your office, what have you. You can get a really good deal on that. YouTube channel, Win Now or Get Bent on YouTube. Check us out. If you're watching already, thanks. Make sure you mash that subscribe button, like, comment, all that good stuff. Ran into my guy Creme Brulee at the game, Brandon Rule. I've never known if I never want to dox him, but I saw it as in his bio the other day. So like, okay, I met my guy Brandon and his dad. I met him, I should say. I saw them. I've known him for a while, and his dad. It was good to see them. And they both told me that they've been commenting, subscribing, signing up all their friends, and I appreciated that. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know people were paying attention to that part, but they were. Thanks, shout out to Creme Brulee for helping us grow. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter at Win Now or Get Bent, and on Instagram WNOGB. Check out the cinematic recap from the ULM game as well. The Wizard, Zachary Webb, worked really, really hard on it. Looks great. I narrate it, but I promise you he works way harder on it than I do. That it's a really cool video. He got some great shots, great looks at the crowd. So go check that out. That's also on our YouTube channel. Thank you to TGC, Balcones Roofing and Remodeling, Austin Patchmaster, and of course our guy Thad Watkins over at San Marcos Edward Jones. Thank you to the Wizard, Zachary Webb, working hard. We're through the bye week, my guy. Second half of the season coming. And thank you to Sickos. Win now or get bent.